first had the idea for this book, sitting with a client, was doing business consulting with him. He gave me a strange look and he said, one of the things I'm struggling with is I don't really feel alive. As early in my career, I thought that was an odd question, didn't know how to handle it. My only reaction was, well, can you tell me about a time in your life when you did feel alive? He proceeded to pause and for 15 minutes tell me about founding his ad agency. And as he told me the story and he told me about trying to start the business and he told me about his early failures and he told me about finally getting and landing his cornerstone client, and as he told me about getting his first $1 million in billings and then growing the business to 100 million, he looked at me and he was beaming ear to ear. And as I looked at him, I said, you look pretty alive now. And he smiled and he said, you know, you're right. We've been talking for a while about what I want to do to change and build this business, and I want to change everything I said. You know what I want? I want that feeling back again, that feeling of being really engaged, alive, excited to build something. And that's really one of the biggest reasons why I wrote this book, was to give people an opportunity to re-engage, reimagine the things that they really want to build. The book's really broken up into 6 sections. The first one is about reframing risk. Thinking about not only could I possibly lose by taking the risk, but something that people often don't stop to think about, what could I lose by not taking the risk? What I've found working with clients is clients that are able to really pull back, look at a long-term view, understand what they might lose by not taking the risks, are much more inclined to jump in. The second section is around what I call find something worth fighting for. It provides a context for risk. It is the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, that gets you excited. And it's the thing that has you think about what you might lose if you don't risk. You might lose that very thing you want to fight for. The third section is see the future now. What I've found is that the best and the smartest risk takers take an opportunity to step back and really see clearly what the future looks like, including what do my clients really want and need? Where might I fail and how likely is that failure? The next section is act fast, learn fast. So once you've got a plan, you see the future now, you don't have to jump in and put all your resources on the table right away. Bet too big, and that's what gets to what I call the danger zone. You want to stay in what I call the smart risk zone. And that's taking small risks, coming up with a hypothesis. This might work. Trying it, learning, failing. And in that process, that constant structured learning to understand what worked, what didn't work, what do we need to get better at, let's try again. The fifth section is communicate powerfully. As this is going on, as in all risk-taking scenarios, things are going to be moving fast. There's going to be a lot of challenges that come up. You and your team and people that you're working with around, you need to stop and number one, have tough conversations as they come up. So give some tools on how to do that. And secondly, make sure you're communicating everything that's going on. And the last is create an environment for smart risks to occur. And that's a leader-led environment. I wanted to move the book past just aphorisms and feel-good quotes to talk about you should get out there and go for things and get down to the real nitty-gritty of how does someone get better at taking risks, from planning for it up front to actually starting small and taking small risks, to learning from failures to get better continuously, to communicate through the process, and then create that actual culture that's going to support risk-taking ongoingly in the organization. The most important question when it comes to taking risks that I always want my clients, anyone that I'm talking to think about, honestly about, and to answer, take some real time to reflect and answer the question is, what have I got to lose by taking this risk? And also, what do I have to lose by not taking this risk? And as you take the time to really reflect, my gut tells me, after doing consulting on this for years, after working with clients in a coaching capacity for years, is that the list on what you will lose by not taking risks is much more costly, it's longer than what you'll lose by taking risks. And the thing I always remind clients is that the path that you need to take never becomes clear before you're walking on it. It only becomes clear once you start walking on it. So if you're looking for crystal clarity before you move forward, you're never going to find it. You're going to stay paralyzed. The only way to find power is to start walking. Start before you know exactly where you're going. Find along the way the path you need to take. And in so doing, I've found almost no one regrets taking a thoughtful, smart risk.